So on the side of Boston University, we have Connor, Fear My 5'2", Full Frontal, Gavint, Seascape, and Variation. Then meanwhile, of course, your home squad, the St. Clair Saints. We've got Damage Crypt on here once again. We got Walla, Kingdom Heart, Jussie, and Jub. Let's get into the action as we do have Walla on the Reaper, even though we just seen the Symmetra for just a moment just to get that extra boost. And we're gonna roll in here with Damage on the front line, trying to go into this capture point. And Jub's gonna find himself the first kill, but it's traded out with Crypt pretty quickly. This is the first match we've seen him on this season for his off-tank role, which I believe is supposed to be his main role. So good to see him on to that. Meanwhile, Jub once again rocking the DPS, and the point is going to get flipped over. Boston University going to get the first capture. Granted, St. Clair is on the attack. They just got to deal with some of these Symmetra turrets. They're going to be able to handle it ever so slightly. It looks like this fight's going into St. Clair's favor, but that's a pretty sick coalescence on the side of Boston University, going through a ton of members of St. Clair. Jussie going to answer with his own. He's going to be able to tear through everybody, for good or for worse. But that is a Reaper coming in onto point. A Mage shutting that down instantly. Jussie on the chase. Meanwhile, there's one person on the squad, Fear My 5', trying to delay that. And he is going to delay it to the point where they get 30% on the board. But St. Clair going to be able to get the flip, start rocking some percent for themselves. And St. Clair in a aggressive hold, trying to keep them from even getting anywhere near the point. That is the Death Blossom ready for Walla if he does decide to go for it. Meteor Strike also on top of things for Jub. He's going to fire himself right into the center of everybody. Walla does get stunned up, but he's going to be able to Wraith Walk out of there. Saints going to try and get back to their points. Can they make it back, though? They're not going to be able to. Seascape and Connor taking 2 and 3 getting 3 kills total, and this is going to be I think a complete wipe here in terms of St. Clair, as this point is going to get flipped back over. St. Clair getting 44% before that flip occurring. But we do have ults on deck. We have about like 3 ready and probably 5 by the time this next team fight happens. Good little scoop there from Damage. He does manage to take down Seascape alongside Walla. And we do have the teleport coming in. That's going to be Death Blossom on the point. Going to get 1, and then Jub going to find 2. Fear My 5', just going to jump off and just accept the wipe. And sure enough, a nice quick flip there for St. Clair. And they only use 2 ultimates in the process, so not too bad. Not blowing everything at once, thank goodness. Coalescence here ready for Jussie. As soon as he sees him entering, I'm sure we'll see it. Especially in this little corridor. And then here we go. That's going to be the flux coming out on the side of Boston, and that fight got completely turned around on its head. St. Clair with the wipe after Boston University gets aggressive with ultimates right off the start, but they were just able to pop everybody. Now Saints are a little split up at this moment. Crypt's going to try and keep everybody alive with that retractable barrier. Damage poking as well. We have borderline 90% here for St. Clair. Only another couple seconds to get this first round. But Connor with the flank, going to try and get some sneaky damage on them. Crypt's going to find Gavin though, but he's going to get Meteor struck by Variation. We're with the Reaper duel actually, with Walla trying to take down Full Frontal. They're trying for a backdoor capture, but Saints are aware. They're coming back. Halt's going to drag in the Moira. She's barely going to hang in there temporarily, but she's going to go down as well. Overtime ticking down. That's a Lucio being an absolute pain in the left side. Going to just try and keep on delaying. We have the emergency Hammond here from Connor as well, trying to boop him away. Finally getting this point cleared, and right before he can get back in here, a little bit of a spike there. I wonder what happened there, but Connor does go down, and St. Clair were able to get that initial the first round here on game number 1.
It is not my preference to see tomatoes personally, but I will see them done.
All right, now this point of Lijiang Tower has definitely shown mixed results here for Sinclair. I'm not so sure about Boston per se, but it looks like we're going to attempt to go the high ground. Yeah, we're taking the high ground, it looks like. Jesse lobbing the orb in, trying to get some extra damage, but as Boston just charges onto the point, Saints are going to meet them, and 3 of Boston just got popped instantly. And that's going to be a quick cleanup here for St. Clair as soon as Seascape goes down. Quick team kill here for St. Clair Saints, and they're going to be able to get this first capture easy.
Hello there.
Okay, so St. Clair wasn't in the most aggressive of defensive options, but kind of let them walk in, and they're getting a little bit out of position. But Kingdom Heart actually not getting focused whatsoever, and he's just been poking around in the team of Boston University, and it's been doing work. He's making this work, just making Seascape his life extremely difficult. Coalescence is coming out from both sides right now. And the Meteor Strike actually from Jub. He almost goes down. Seascape next to no HP. Crypt is going to find him. And now this is going to give St. Clair the extremely aggressive defensive hold. But Jub went in a little bit too, maybe a little over aggressive, which is going to make the 5v6 right now. And Boston University going to try and punish this before Jub gets back. They have made it onto the points. We have the bongo coming out from the side of Boston University, and this is kind of what we did expect to see. They pushed this extremely hard, and they've gotten at least 4 kills at this point. Crypt does have his ultimate, but considering the man disadvantage, they're probably not going to try and get aggressive. Just try to regroup this before going in again. So Flux, Death Blossom, and Sound Barrier are all available here for St. Clair. And we see Jub looking for the flank as well, but because Boston wasn't going for the full aggressive thing, that's a Deadeye, and it's actually Deadeye Halt just doing work alongside the Flux there from Seascape. So a very nice usage of ultimates there from Boston University, making the quick wipe. But granted, that was probably 2-3 ults used, so I'm sure St. Clair is taking notes of that, but because of such a strong combo, they're able to get 40% on the board. But Crypt actually finds full frontal right before this teamfight even gets started. We're trading coalescences once again like this is something out of Dragon Ball Z. Then we've got Connor in the front line, gonna get blasted down here by Walla, just slowly but surely taking him down. Such a huge target versus shotguns. It's not a good matchup, not in the slightest. So this is gonna go right back over to St. Clair. Granted, Boston University did tie this up at 60% each, but now this is going to be tough. We have 70% with 4 ultimates on the board. And let's see how aggressive Walla once again. He gets the 1 kill, and he's going to go for more with the Death Blossom, but it did get majority absorbed, but Walla doesn't care at all, just going point blank with these guys, and he's going to find himself 4 alongside the kills from Damage and Jussie to get the team kill. 85% on the board right now for St. Clair. And they have an extremely aggressive positioning once again. And once they get aggressive, Jub does go down once again. So there is actually a little window of hope here for Boston University. And the Lucio is going to jump right on it to try and contest. Gavin's going to get halted, though. He's almost gets peppered down by Damage. But that's a good barrier there for Kingdom Heart that did keep Damage alive at least a little bit longer. But no dice. Jussie going to try and duel this McCree. He's almost got him, actually. And Crypt and Walla managed to get 2 kills in the meantime. Coalescence coming out. Going to try and just finish this now. But he's going to try and duel the Reaper, and it's not going to go in his favor. We still have Crypt on point if he can get this contested just long enough. And he does manage to take down full frontal, so that's the main damage source. He just got the nuisance that is this Hammond, but he just eats an accretion, and it's going to get stunned up. But there is more reinforcements coming out right now for Boston University. That is a Deadeye, I'm assuming, from the top from Boston University as well. Jub going to take down 1. Kingdom Heart takes down 2, and they pushed him off the point just to secure that win. They were there to contest, but the zoning was too strong right there for the St. Clair Saints, and they're going to take game number 1. Now, I believe this is that wombo combo, essentially, that variation did, where, yeah, right off the halt. Yeah, open season when that happens. Very brutal combo. Nicely played there from Boston University, actually. But they may have had the play of the game, but they have to get the victory. And right now, St. Clair up 1-0 going into the second map. And we'll see where we get to go very shortly with that. And as we figure out where we're going for game number 2, in the first time in a while, I've got myself a co-commentator. Welcome, Downlink XA.
How you doing, Dan?
Doing all right back here.
That's good. I think I saw in the chat earlier there, it looks like we might be playing Kings Row here. Yeah, they have it picked. So it looks like it'll be Kings Row coming out as the second map here.
Now, why do people, like, I swear week after week, I'm seeing the same like the same maps over and over again. Is Kings Row just that favorite?
So I mean, if you've been watching it back, so the team who loses gets to pick second map here. And so far, like in the season, St. Clair Saints, they've been really like looking to play Kings Row that second map.
Right.
I think they've been doing a lot of practicing on it, so it probably is a good reason why they're playing that map. The other thing about Kings Row that's really nice for just the game in general is it's a really neutral map. So like both the attackers and defenders, both like there's not really a big advantage to the map. It's one of those maps that just everybody likes playing. It's really enjoyable. It's really fun, as well as like there's some cool strats and stuff you can do with it. So,
all right.
Yeah. But I mean, like, let's be real here. Strats in Overwatch, it's not really a thing. It's just we're all meta slaves that play this game.
I was gonna say strats. There is only one.
Yeah, double shield,
and then maybe one that counters it sometimes, but not always.
On specific maps in certain situations.
Exactly.
Oh wait, what? Rhine Sigma.
I was gonna say you leave the desk for 1 second, and all of a sudden there's a Reinhardt on board. Like, what?
I leave my team. Yeah.
But there it is.
There you go. I mean, there is an interesting comp that we'd run in scrims earlier this week that does have a Reinhardt in it. So,
yeah.
I mean, look out for that. Maybe we'll pull it out one day. It's definitely a pocket pick. So
I know you guys have definitely, in the past, have thought of some pretty crazy.
I mean, our 5-tank Lucio back when I played on the team, that was always a fun one.
I reference it quite frequently.
Yeah, it's probably one of my favorite comps that I've ever played. Actually is something that I played with one of my open teams back when I was playing in the open division. And on maps like Kings Row or 2CPs like Hanamura, anything where you can kind of get to the point quickly and just take all that space with all those big bodies and they're like, CC and just they never die and just speed them around. It was just always so like useful to have.
Yeah, it's probably the only thing that I miss about like not having the 2-2-2 look.
Absolutely. So, coming into this game, I don't really know what the other team's playing. I would take a wild guess at Probably pretty similar to what we're running. If they come
would
out on the
assume.
Bastion here, it might be some problems for their Saints team here. Oh, so they're on the sim, so they're looking at TP high ground. It looks like the Bastion might be quite probable.
Yeah, there it
he is. Yep. Bigger Rispel coming out. They're definitely putting in some good poke damage for this, but we let them get high ground. So let's see how this plays out.
Yeah, it took them a little bit of time, but they did finally get to the spot they wanted.
The Saints are doing a very good job here. They're actually playing underneath the high ground, not allowing that Bastion to get an angle on them. So they're forcing them to drop, and now the Saints can go in for a punish here.
Yeah, jumped up pretty much in prime position to get a good flank on them.
Jub's just putting pressure on their back line. Look, we got held back, so right here, the Bastion's really just going to be super oppressive on us. There's not much we can really do at this point, unless Jub gets a big pick.
And he's actually going down first, unfortunately, here.
Saints really needs a pick coming out here if they want to win this fight. They're down 2 now.
It's
Big pull. Yeah.
Definitely looking rough.
Bastion all coming out. This is just over.
Yeah.
I mean, the one upside right here for the Saints, though, on this team fight is Boston actually used quite a number of ults there to gain control of that first point. And it was due to a lot of the fact of them having like that pressure early on. They got early ult charge, which gave them their ults first. But since they used their ults in an already basically one fight there, Saints actually have the advantage now where they might have an ult advantage and they can break this Bastion.
And fortunately, right as that ult, or right as the point did go down, Jussie did blow Coalescence. But granted, that charges rather quickly.
Yeah, absolutely. A good Mario player, generally you can get, I'd say like every 1.5 team fights on average. It's pretty one of the fastest charging ults definitely right now in the game.
Yeah. And here comes, I don't even know what the Sims ults coming are called, but that's just an absolute nuisance to try and deal with.
Absolutely. They really need to break this Bastion. Otherwise, this is going to be very problematic for them.
Yeah, Wallace finding a pick here and there, but just not able to get to the core target, which of course is that Bastion.
I honestly thought we might have seen a Death Blossom come out from our Reaper there, but I'm really happy that he didn't. It's definitely better just to save the ult and go for a 66 fight.
Yeah, with everybody else going down, he would have just been a sitting duck.
Yeah,
just spinning around.
Especially with that Sigma there, if he has a shift up, it literally just nullifies anything Reaper tries to do.
The shift's the rock, right?
No, the shift is the
absorb.
the absorb thing.
Yeah.
The actual name of it, I'm uncertain of. So here we have the Reaper position on high ground. Let's look for a big ult here. Saints really need something to get this Bastion comp broken. Coalesce is coming out from the Boston University team.
Yeah, now we're never. Oh my God, he got popped.
Gets deleted.
Oh.
So Saints is really struggling with this Bastion comp right now, and a beat coming out late from Kingdom Heart. Kingdom Heart going in on the Bastion. And this looks like another lost fight for Saints. There's just nothing they can do about this Bastion comp right now.
Yeah, Vince has just been like rolling over, just not able to get the kills on the targets that were, I guess, the most important.
Yeah, literally, like this Bastion just hasn't died yet this game. So since we haven't forced him out of his position, he just gets really free reign to do whatever he wants, and that's just like what you really look for in a Bastion comp.
Oh my good job!
T4 on the high ground. Honestly, that's actually could be beneficial here for the Saints. They could go contest card here and not have to fight for that Bastion if they stay where they are.
Yeah, with them being kind of alone, and Wall is going to switch to Bastion to get himself.
Yeah, the Bastion's finally down, so it looks like Saints might have some time here to make up for this time that this time bank that Boston has built up.
Yeah. Luckily, this switch over to Bastion seems to be the case. Plus, you had mentioned that they had gone to the high ground, so they were kind of split when that team fight even started. Core targets going down before they even had a chance to defend.
Boston got a little greedy there, trying to get an early pick to try and make that fight a little bit easier, but really all they did was get themselves out of position and made a fight harder for them. It's unfortunate. Had they got that pick on Doomfist, though, it definitely would have been worth the positioning. So I think the Saints here has swapped to Baptiste Mercy to go with their Bastion, and they don't get the invulnerability field out in time. It's a little bit late.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Walla got popped right away, and even as Jussie does use that invulnerability field, it just goes down. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Oh, big rock onto that Reaper there.
That was pretty clutch. At least it's going to trade them 1-for-1 at this point, but Jub going down as well.
2 people caught up in that Sigma ult.
Oh, that was a good invulnerability field. That kept that Sigma up.
Yeah. Saints, this is not looking good for the Saints right now. There's a really big time bank. Oh, they ate the rock. It's a really big time bank coming out here for Boston University right now. If they can push this all the way to the end with more than 3 minutes, then Saints better do a really good job on their attack.
I mean, we've definitely seen worse this season so far in terms of like time banks on Kings Row.
Don't remind me.
This is still pretty rough to try and deal with. Kingdom Heart, though, going to try and delay this as best he can.
This is just a stall at this point. There's not much they can do.
Yeah, wall of the Tracer just to try and be an absolute
If we can
nuisance
get
on this.
if Saints can get a pick on the healer here, it's actually quite possible they could come back from this.
Walla going down. We still have Crypt on the emergency
Yeah.
Hammond.
Killing that invulnerability field. But the Bastion set back up, and there's not much we can do about that Bastion now.
It's going to be hard to reach him, and he's got like
that's
complete free fire, open season on the Saints right now.
We were forced to stay on cart, so it's just, I mean, hey, they had 5 minutes going into that third point. We got the time clock down to 2:40. That's a good start.
Yeah, that wasn't too bad. Like you were saying, it was looking closer to like 3.5 minutes, maybe 4. But 2:30, that is very doable.
Yeah.
We've seen crazier comebacks and losses on this map.
So the one benefit here is that the Saints have a really cool thing that they like to do on attack here, and I'm pretty sure we're gonna see it here. Basically, they do the Sim Bastion thing,
right?
But instead of going and wrapping around to that high ground, we actually TP up to the other high ground, and the sight lines you can actually see underneath of the high ground where the Boston University had went to. So you're forcing the enemy team to kind of back up towards that second choke point, towards second point on Kings Row here, and basically that allows us to just take point control for free. So let's see if that happens.
Yeah, it's something we've seen them do pretty much time and time again here on this map. I'm sure won't be any surprise there. It looks like we're just missing a Symmetra at this point.
Symmetra, yeah. Honestly, but I mean it's quite possible. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw May come out here. May is always a good pick on Kings Row first point. And in the Bastion v Bastion duel, the nice thing about May is that she has that ultimate where it just denies such a large area. And since Bastion takes such a long time to transform out of his sentry or his turret form, he gets stuck in that ult, and like 9 times out of 10 he's gonna get frozen. So it's definitely a really good break Bastion option is playing that May.
True.
Yeah. So coming out here, it looks like they have their Bastion set up on the high ground. I saw an Orisa shield there, but they also have a Junkrat.
Now that you don't see as often, but I guess just
the thing
firing into that corridor.
It's basically for shield break. That's what's nice about it. So yeah.
Oh, Seascape.
Yeah, there's so much. They're just so out in the open, and they held close on us here. So.
Oh, the flank attempt, but he's going to be forced to Wraithwalk out of there. A little bit of pressure from Saints trying to just touch a point, kind of force Boston to contest.
Big pull coming out from the Orisa there, but they have the Sigma shift out. One pick going on to Variation on the Reaper. Saints is up 1 in this fight. They're pushing them back into Hotel. Big pull again. Unfortunately, we didn't have that rock on cooldown.
This is exactly where they want to be.
That's exactly what we wanted right there.
Yeah, that was essentially perfect right there for St. Clair.
Textbook take. We force them out of position, take control of the point.
And then just by the time we get towards that second checkpoint, everyone's ult's going to be up and ready to go.
Right now, Saints are actually looking like they could get a pretty good time bank here at the end of this push. If you look at the enemy team's comp, there's really, other than Junkrat Tire, there's not really much they can do to break this Bastion comp right now. So I think they're just looking to farm that tire up. But I mean, a good properly timed invulnerability field literally just nullifies that tire.
Right.
Yeah. So they just have to hope that they can catch Saints Gaming off guard with that Junkrat ult. So we have the Symmetra ult coming out here as well as the Bastion ult.
And Saint Firm coming in, hasn't found a pick just yet. There it is.
He finally got one pick. There's just so many shields in his way. Story of the meta. Bastion goes down. We use invulnerability field here. But now with that invulnerability field down, though, they are like weak to that Junkrat tire.
It depends if University or Boston University was keeping track of that, though. But there is a lot of bodies going down right now.
And that's a one fight for Saints Gaming.
That'll do it. Halfway there for that second checkpoint.
Well, this is exactly what the Saints were looking to get here, though. It was a lot of time on that time bank, trying to do a little bit better of a job on attack than the Boston University did. So that way we can defend first and maybe make up for our lack of defense on the first try here.
Jump getting a little cute with that teleporter.
Yeah.
Okay, that didn't work. He just ate so much damage.
And there's 2 picks coming from Saints already. And yeah, that's just a cleanup from there. Saints is looking a lot better on attack here on the Bastion, though. I'm surprised that we haven't seen a swap from Boston University back to that Bastion comp that they were running. They seem to have a pretty good time with it against us on the Bastion as well.
Yeah, they were doing so well, but I guess it just shows how defense is. It's just a little rough if both teams are doing the same thing, I guess.
Yeah. So then basically, like, when it's a Bastion comp comes out, the only thing you really do to counter it right now is honestly just mirror the comp and play it better. That's just kind of how Overwatch is right now when a Bastion comes out.
Fair enough. I mean, we've seen that for so long, and Walla just gets the
Oh,
pop. This is going to be huge.
Graphitic Flux coming out, and they don't have beat for it.
Okay, everybody just popped. There's going to be variation in the background, actually. Does find 5.
4 or 5. 5 kills from variation with the Death Blossom there. It's because, yeah, he saw that he saw our Sigma went aggressive on that fight there, and saw that he wasn't in position to get a shift off on his ultimate, so he just took complete advantage of that and just went in for it.
That was so clutch. Yeah, just...
Oh, and
that was a sure lost fight.
Yeah, absolutely. That's just the power of Reaper ult, though. If there's nothing to contest it, just with his lifesteal, there's not much an enemy team can do against a Reaper. They're gonna be here to keep their Bastion alive. Really, just bunker down. It's a really aggressive way to use it, though, and leaves them really susceptible to any.
Yeah, that felt kind of early.
Yeah, because Saints just backed off there, and now that beat got 0 value. Reaper on the flank, and he goes down.
Yeah, right away before this fight even really gets started.
Yeah. There's no Death Blossom to get him out of this one. See how this goes.
Okay, there's the Flux though. He's gonna.
Oh, he got pulled up. Bastion's down.
That actually gave him the angle on the Bastion.
So getting Bastion into a Graphitic Flux like that is beneficial and both detrimental at the same time. Walla with another pick there through the window put down by Baptiste.
Variation's back though, giving Walla a bit of a hard time, but so many people on Boston University going down, takes down full frontal. They have the end in sight. Yeah,
Baptiste is like really good in this comp for that exact reason. When you get caught off guard by a flank like that, you can just invulnerability field, and realistically that flank has done nothing now. Yeah,
as long as you don't get popped instantly, you just have just enough time to react.
Absolutely.
So just under a minute more?
Yeah, just under a minute more. But the benefits of this now is that they get to defend first.
Right.
And let's hope that they can find some way to break how they got broken the first round.
This is just one of those maps. Either Saints full holds it right here, or we're going all the way to the very end.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It's an exciting map, Kings Row is.
Absolutely. I just think like Kings Row is a really like well balanced map. Like first point is super open with some high grounds you can take advantage of. And then like second point is like the streets phase. It's like really tight quarters, and it has like positioning is super important on it. And then that third point, it's kind of a mixture of the both of them.
Attackers incoming in 30 seconds.
So Dan, what do you think Boston University is going to come out on again? Do you think they're just going to run it back with what worked the first time, or?
I would. I mean, their attack wasn't bad by any means. Like, Saints did it faster with pretty much the exact same thing.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. Because you do sometimes see random things here.
Yeah.
But it also could just be, I don't know, the coaching and whatnot. We've seen things like Pharah's on attack or Widowmakers here.
So the nice thing about Pharmacy is, Ryan Zarya. Reinhardt just gets instantly deleted.
This is probably going to get sent back to the drawing board instantly.
This looks really good for Saints Gaming if this continues.
Okay, we do have the make here from Jub. Oh, Justy does get popped, but Kingdom Heart right there.
Yeah. I mean, that's just Doomfist for you. All he's got to do is hit one right click on the right target, and that's a free pick.
I've been playing this game wrong my entire life.
I mean, there's a little bit more to Doomfist than that, but I mean, you hit the punch, and you're doing good. A big pull coming there to slow down that push with the amp from Boston University.
They're trying it again, but a lot of them got split actually.
And vulnerability field is going down. It looks like Walla might fall here. Gets charged.
Yep,
just got it run over. Ryan gets frozen. See if they can get a pick. Nothing. And they just W keyed into Saints Gaming and broke that comp right up.
Okay, did he get the May up?
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. She could stall it for a decent amount of time here for sure, but just generating more ult charge for the Boston University there.
That's true.
Boston University too did not use a single ultimate to take that fight, and Reinhardt did a lot of damage, so I'd look out for a big slam coming here from their Reinhardt.
And is Sinclair getting aggressive? Was that their Meteor Strike?
No, that was the enemy Doomfist Meteor Strike trying to get out. I think he went a little deeper than he had wanted to, and he used it as an escape. Yeah.
Well, giving the given the conditions. I
Yeah.
guess we take those.
Yeah, I mean, in the current meta, Doomfist's ult is either used with a pull, or to kill the Bongo from Orisa,
Right.
or to get out like that. That's actually a quite common usage that you're
Okay.
going to see.
Oh, he got
the
him
Shatter
before
got
it.
canceled because he died before he could get it off.
That's a Blizzard coming out too from...
But it got, where is it?
I don't even see it. Did it get eaten by...
There wasn't anything on the top right.
okay,
They don't even have anything to eat it.
that was odd, but that's going to be the downed variation, and now Seascape is going to be forced to try and run for the hills, and that gets pretty well denied there from Jub.
Big wall coming out. I'm honestly confused. I don't even know what happened to that Mayalt.
I'm looking at the top right thinking I could get the answer, and I did not have
I think he must have got stunned, maybe?
it. O'Connor, no. He gets completely caught out of position, waiting for his team to respawn.
Who on the... Can you hit tab for me for a second? I just want to see what the enemy's playing. I guess she must have got Doomfist punched. That's the only thing I could say would have happened.
I guess so. But now, with 3 seconds on the clock, somebody needs to contest this from Boston University. They do get someone on there. Walla in tank form, trying to take everybody down. Here comes Doomfist, though.
Yeah.
Right in the face of Walla. But looks like Walla's winning this duel, and he gets right into the May wall. Seascape gets the Graviton, but
This is looking scary
a
for
little
Saints
messy.
Gaming here.
A little bit of a messy fight here, and that's going to be the Death Blossom.
no.
We've had hard times trying to stop this thing earlier in the game, and sure enough, it's
Saints
took
get out
it
with
down.
4 members here, so they can get a soft reset and an early contest. If they keep going too aggressive here, we could win. The Saints could look to window and get possibly a couple picks on the... Yeah, this Reaper goes down because they got too aggressive. This is exactly what Saints wanted with that.
Hey, okay,
that
there we go.
soft
Blizzard
reset.
coming out once again
Yeah.
alongside the Baptiste ult.
2 early picks.
And the
Oh, big
Flux.
dub. Justin popping off, getting 3 kills.
All right. I think I say it every week, but just because Jussie is on support does not mean he can't frag.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when you're playing Moira Baptiste, that's just kind of expected from you. Those 2 characters can still output a ton of damage for being support characters.
Yeah. And if Zen was meta, I'm sure he'd be playing him as
Oh,
well.
absolutely. I know for a fact he's wanting to play. He's got an itch for that Zen, and especially Ana too. Which surprisingly, Ana might not be able to put out as much damage as those 2, but that anti-nade from her is just as good.
Yeah, the nade and the sleeps, just the play. It's a playmaker character
Absolutely.
for sure. I know we actually got a couple highlights, I think, last week where the Reaper came around, just flick the sleep dart,
Yeah.
Reaper down and out, and we're able to blow him up
Those always feel super good.
for sure.
The best is when you nano a dashing, when you sleep a nano Genji that dashes in to use Blade. That's the best feeling.
Yeah, but then the worst is when the Diva from long range just shoots a primary fire and just pokes him for 1 damage and
He
wakes him up.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
I've had that happen to me, and I've been that Diva.
Yeah. Those are always those moments where you're just like, and
Alt
I
F4.
belong in bronze. Yeah.
Alt F4 uninstall.
I love watching Wella play. I don't know how he does it, but his tracking is just it is something else.
Well, we've got 3 minutes and 30 seconds basically to see if him and the rest of St. Clair Saints can pull off this attack. They've basically 1 point and then about halfway to the second.
And the Bastion didn't get the TP.
Oh no.
This is unfortunate for Saints.
Yeah, unfortunate little choke there, but at least most of the Saints did come back to be with Walla. It's an early invulnerability field.
And well, they tried to set it up on the corner there so that they could get access to it.
Okay, second time's the charm.
Yeah, they got that shield up, got this teleporter off, but
they
unfortunately
don't have the field
they
now.
Don't have the field. We have a res to get them back up with the invulnerability field ready, and we can break their invulnerability field. So right now, Saints does have the advantage in the Bastion v Bastion war. But if we can get that invulnerability field off here soon.
Yeah, just trading blows.
Yeah.
Crypt in the front line, but the front line both.
That
Mage and
window
Crypt
is just
going
going to
down.
shred everything.
Oh, they're going to try and force this though with Baptiste ult, and
He's just trying
there
to.
it goes.
They're just wiping.
Yeah. So 2 minutes and 20 seconds. It's not stressing
It's happy to
time
look
yet,
at some
but
ults here. So Saints Gaming does have their Bashing ult coming online as well as Crypt's ult. So what I would like to see come out of this here, what is quite possible, is if you get that signal, a huge pick coming on the Baptiste here.
how about just a random pick just from primary fire?
That's a big pick now. Oh, and the Bastion. The Bastion on the flank there. Oh, yeah. They just got caught out of position there. They weren't ready for that fight to be engaged on right there.
Yeah, and absolutely not in position, and so many members of Boston University just went down before the fight even felt like it started.
And then they waste the Hanzo ult, but it gets a headshot on the Jub. That is unfortunate.
This is where you just type in team chat worth, or not team chat, and all chat just worth.
Yeah, worth, absolutely.
Got him.
That's something you don't see as often as you think. Getting that headshot with the Dragon's Arrow coming out. So Saints is on that Bastion comp still. Is Boston University still playing Bastion? Nope, they have swapped off the Bastion to a Hanzo and a Reaper. So if the Saints can properly use their invulnerability field here and take full advantage of these shields, this Bastion might just be able to do the trick to get them where they want to be.
But we've seen Sinclair so far having a really hard time dealing with Reapers, but at the same time, it doesn't matter when you're getting...
He just swapped, so he does not have his ultimate.
Yeah.
And he goes in, and he dies. That's 3 early picks.
He got called out instantly.
Yeah, great communication coming up from Saints Gaming, and just a cleanup here to get them on the regroup.
This is going to be more than 3/4 of the way. Boston University has to panic like right now.
Jub in the first map, he did go a little over aggressive and get picked though, which was detrimental to the Saints. But it looks like that pick right there is not going to be punished.
It's making it that they're pretty much dead before they even get to the cart. It's going to be an easy 2-0.
That is Kings Row, taken by Saints Gaming.
All right.
A little sloppy on that first attack. They cleaned it up, they brought it back, and they got that win. That's the most important part.
Play of the game.
And of course, variation.
Yeah, the 5K. Let's watch it from his perspective here. Let's see if he notices. Yeah, he saw the Sigma all the way up at the front, and just went for it.
Man, that match would have been over there had it not been for Reaper's ult.
Yeah, that ultimate was definitely game changing. It definitely kept Boston University in there.
Especially since pretty much everybody else from Boston had